integrating technology into the classroom, you must look at the issues that young children associate with technology or that young children have with technology. One of those issues is distractions. Technology may be a distraction when it's in the classroom, and it may be a distraction for the children as it's at home. They may be competing with their technology at home and their video games and not with the education in the classroom. Another issue may be access. Not all students have the same access to the same technologies. This may be a problem when certain teachers require this technology in their projects or in their assignments. And then the last issue that we're going to look at is benefits of use. Some teachers may be required to use certain technology, but don't know how to properly use that technology or don't know how to integrate it to be the best success for the class. We talked about the issues of technology in young children, and now we're going to look at the impact of technology on young children. So socialization is something that is impacted by technology over the years, whether in the classroom or whether at home. A lot of students may prefer technology over hanging out with their friends. They may value playing games on the computer versus, having a conversation. And so that kind of leads into exercise as well. Some students may want to, play games on the computer more than they like to go outside. And that's happening more and more, as technology progresses. So another impact of technology on young children, not all of these impacts are negative. So this is, immediate answers within technology. So having Google at your fingertips or having technology at your fingertips, impacts your learning and impacts, so many things on young children when you can just Google an answer. You have the answer really fast. And so that has its educational benefits. Technology benefits education in so many ways of making projects easier and making things more beneficial and being able to look up information that you couldn't look up before, and then also just having different avenues to display that education or that project within technology. As we've talked about the impact of technology on young children and the issues of technology with young children, now we're going to look at how technology is appropriately developed for the students and how it's appropriately integrated for the grade level and their developmental level as well.
Are we ready for the video? Sit down for the video. Let's go. This is what we're going to be doing today.
I want to pool.
The intention behind the media is to assist the children in learning and adapting the things to make them visual for them.
Use the mouse to click on the 3. So 3 balloons.
It's very important at their age to put things in perspective by actually getting to look at things and explore things.
H-I-K-K-L-M-L-O-B-N.
You're taking in a lot more knowledge when you're using the media such as a computer in the classroom.
You got it.
So I need to take a picture of all of you, Malcolm and Brooke and Callum.
We use pictures as a big part of our communication. Maybe email that picture to the parent. We find that it's something that's easily accessible to them. Parents are able to actually see what their child is doing in the classroom.
Say cheese. I love it. It looks great.
What are we gonna do?
Some of you are going to watch a little video about ramps. When I'm thinking of using media, learning about ramps, the first thing I think is, what do I want the children to learn about? Do you think this sponge is going to roll down the ramp? This week, I wanted them to learn about velocity and gravity and direction. Oh, it did slide. I'm only going to call a few children to watch the video today. In order for me to get to all of the children, I have to present my lesson many different ways. This one is about some children that are building ramps. At this age, children's attention spans are very short. And if there's a key thing that I want them to see, I want it to be brief. I want it to be something that I can pause and ask a question about. What did they use to make that ramp?
Leg.
She used her leg for a ramp. I always watch the videos in advance to make sure that they're appropriate for my learning goals. If I'm doing a math unit, I might find a math concept video, or I might find a science video. I make sure that it's quality, it's short, it meets the criteria that I expect the children to learn.
Hey, look! It's a straight line to the top.
Do I let you go up the slide?
No.
There's a video in the classroom extends the reach of the teacher. We can see something that maybe we can't do. The PEEP used a big slide, and the children got to see that.
Did he slide or roll? Slide. And what about quack? Slide.
We can do that.
We can slide on our slide, right?
So when talking about the integration technology, I want to look at a sample lesson plan that I created. So this is called the mock market. So with this mock market, I had done some service learning, and I hope that we could do that, with the children. But I had went to a thrift store, and it had a food bank in the thrift store, and they're more of like a family resource type place. And so I wanted to come back and have a mock market with the students. So the students will use iPads or computers to research prices of common grocery items. And then with each student, we'll have one item or two items, depending on, how much the students can handle. There's differentiation of instruction there. So each student will be responsible for that item. I will write items on individual pieces of paper and put them in a bucket for students to draw out. So that way when they choose an item, they're chosen in a fair way. So the students will then research that item to see what it cost in 1914 or around World War II and what was going on around that time to affect the price of the groceries. I think I'm going to leave it as 1914 so that they can, understand that it was around the war, and then that is what affects the grocery prices. So they're using that technology to research and then to create they're going to create a card that has their grocery item on it, almost like a label, that has their grocery item on it, the price that it is now, and then the price that it was at that time. And then on the back, they will write a short little sentence or paragraph on why the price changed, or why the price was so different in 1914, or what affects the price at that time. On the front of the card, they will print out a picture of the item, and then they will write the item's name and then the price of the item on the front. So the students here are they're working together to be able to see what each one has. They can collaborate when they research. But once they have their items, the items will be set up around the room as in a market, and then they will actually have the mock market. I will act as the register. And then students will buy things, they can trade things, they will have money, they can buy more than one thing as long as they return some things, so that each student has an opportunity to buy at least one item. And so that way the students, they can kind of talk to each other, and they can see what it's like in a real grocery store. They can add up different prices and then calculate how much money that they need. So this shows them how to work together with their peers. It also shows them how to work in their community. It shows with the service learning how to work together in their community to serve others, but it also shows them how their community works, and so they can have a mock version of their community and use digital tools. It also gives them relevant learning experiences using those digital tools and resources, because shopping in a grocery store is something that they want. So now we're going to talk about technology and diverse learners. So there are quite a few things that you can do for diverse learners within technology. Not only is technology not always just computers or electronics, but technology can be anything that aids in making things easier, such as a pencil grip for a pencil for those who have issues with their fine motor skills. Also, technology and diverse learners needs to have flexible technology. Diverse learners need things that can change up to fit their needs at any time. Another good technology for diverse learners is a speech-to-text or a text-to-speech, or a text that options where you can read the text out loud, like audiobooks. So those are things that you can use for diverse learners in technology. There are so many other things that you can look at and that you can research, and there's so many things within assistive technology that are for diverse learners as well.